Hello everybody, welcome to the table. Today we're taking a look at a pocket knife from none other than Ryobi. And so of course Ryobi is a tool brand, and like many tool brands, your DeWalt's, your Milwaukee's, your Craftsman, they have a line of pocket knives that you can pick up from, any big box retailer out there. Think your Home Depots, your Lowe's, stores like that. And so normally I pass over these knives, but I figured this one here had some pretty cool, interesting options for it. And so I decided to pick one up, and this knife comes in around $20. And so for the $20 price point, is this knife worth picking up? Say you forget your EDC, your everyday carry with you, and you're on a job, swing by the local Home Depot, pick up a $20 Ryobi pocket knife for the day. How will it do? So we'll take a close look at this knife right here and the features that it has. But for 20 bucks, can you really go wrong? Let's find out. So this pocket knife right here, we can just quick look at the card it came in. So this is a multi-tool, I guess, technically, multi-function folding knife. We have a bottle opener, we have a Phillips driver, we have a package opener, and of course the straight edge blade. And so now why we have a package opener on something that naturally is going to be a package opener, I'm not too sure why they put that on here, but either way, we'll keep looking at the knife. Just some of the information. High carbon stainless steel blade. We do not have a definitive blade steel here, so we can assume it's going to be something fairly inexpensive, like a 440 steel. Removable pocket clip, and what's actually cool about that, it is a true deep carry clip design, and we'll take a look at that in a second. But again, the multi-tools are what kind of make this knife interesting, what make it, kind of set aside from its competition. And liner lock design with an aluminum handle. So let's take a closer look at this knife. And of course, the most obvious multi-tool to me just jumps right out at you. Right here at the tip, we can see there is a bottle opener right there. So this is obviously going to be useful for many situations besides work. But you can imagine having a bottle opener on your knife, on your carry with you at all times. It's just one of those things. You pull it out of your pocket, you got it ready to go, you're set. So bottle opener is obvious and built in. It is kind of cool. We do see the liners of this knife are that very distinctive Ryobi yellow color. And so you can take a look in there, see the liners, solid steel right there. We do have a black coated blade, and the blade is advertised at 3¼ inches, which is a very accurate measurement because we can see right here on the ruler. You can see that sharpened edge is pretty much, let me just put it up to the ruler right there. So the sharpened edge is pretty much right at 3¼ inches long. Overall length is almost at 8 inches in overall length. So pretty good size everyday carry knife. It's not really a super lightweight knife or anything because remember, we have aluminum handles, we have steel liners, we have multiple tools kind of hidden here in the liners. So let me pull out the scale and we'll check out the weight of this knife. So we are coming in at about, 5.8 ounces, so it's not overly heavy, but also they didn't really do a whole lot much to reduce the weight on it either. Action is not bad. This is not an assisted opening knife. There's no spring in here, so you can open it slowly if you want with that thumb stud. Alternatively, you can flick it out if you prefer as well, so you have multiple options there. It does swing out nice and smoothly with just your thumb action. Black coated blade, absolutely no markings on there. And what's really, again, distinctive and makes this knife a little bit different from the rest of the pack of your Craftsman knives, your DeWalt knives, whatever, there's no serrations on here because a lot of budget, inexpensive working man's so-called knives always come with the half serrated blade. This one is different. We have a full plain edge blade, which will make it a lot easier when it comes time to touch up the edge. And if you do use the knife a lot, it's going to go dull, of course. And so it's generally a lot easier to sharpen, a plain edge blade than a serrated blade. And that is something that you can kind of take into account when you buy a knife. So that's always a plus in my book. But the thumb stud action, like I was saying, really nice. We can see this is a liner lock. So the yellow liner right there, lockup is pretty much right where it should be. So not too early, not too late. If you look in the handle, you'll see that blade runs on bronze washers in there, and they're nice and thick. And so that means when this knife is locked open, there's no up and down, side to side blade play. It's super solid, which is great for a budget knife. You don't want there to be any, wobbliness to your brand new pocket knife. If you ever do need to adjust the pivot, we have a T8 sized Torx pivot right here. So that is always adjustable if you need it to be. Also some body screws also are going to be Torx. Pocket clip screws will also be Torx as well. And now the pocket clip screws, I believe this is a T6. So no, this is a T8. Let me find a T6. Yeah, so pocket clip screws are going to be a T6 size screw. And so if you want to take off the pocket clip, that is always an option as well. So again, aluminum handles right here has kind of this faux carbon fiber-ish look to it, but it is all smooth. There's not a lot of texture milled into it or put into the grip. We have some slight design work here, but it is what you see. But deep carry pocket clip is actually pretty nice because a lot of these pocket knives have very cheapy looking pocket clips. Very rarely do we see anything truly deep carry, but you can see how much space there is here between the handle and the clip. You have a lot of room to put this deep into your jeans. It carries nice and deep, no issues there. With the smooth aluminum handles, you'll have no issue getting it in or out of your pocket. I think it carries pretty well for what is essentially a budget pocket knife. So they did this pretty well. Now it is a little wide. That's not going to be everyone's preference. But I do appreciate the fact that it is a true deep carry clip, something kind of unique on this type of pocket knife. So kudos to them for making it that way. But of course, we do have some of those interesting multi-tools that we have as part of the knife. So the first one we can check out right here. So we have, this is the package opener. So what's kind of cool about this is that these extra tools have their own liner lock system right in there. So we can see that locks the tool in place, so we can close it, open it, and it's secure. And now being a package opener, it's I guess you could call a mini blade. It is sharp, not razor sharp. You can see there's kind of like a wedge shape to it. I suppose in a pinch you could use it as a scraper, could use it as a flathead, but it does kind of get thin. You can see how thin the tip of that blade gets. So I really wouldn't use it for screwing or prying very much. But again, I suppose if you have a package, lots of tape, lots of gunk, and you really don't want to mess up your main blade, that is what this would do really well at, opening packages with. So that was the idea here. In my opinion, kind of a silly thing to put on a knife because, of course, you have a lovely 3 1/4 inch blade to open packages with. But what do I know? That's there, though. So other side, we have a Phillips head screwdriver right there. So we can see this also locks into place, liner lock action. And this Phillips head, this PH2 head, you'll see it's one of those very slimline designs, minimalist designs. And so again, of questionable utility, I suppose in a real pinch you could use this to unscrew something, to put something in, disassemble something. But in my experience, sometimes these flat Phillips head bits are not always the most useful in actual use. I'm glad they put it on here, though. It's always cool to get extra tools in a pocket knife, in a multi-tool. So it's better than not having it, but you could always question what else could they have put in the handle besides these two tools that might have been a little bit, better options for this type of item. So if you have any ideas, throw them in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. But we get the Phillips head tool, and we get the package opener, and of course, the built-in bottle opener on this knife. So we have the Ryobi folding pocket knife. Did come razor sharp out of the package, so no issues with the sharpness there, nor would I expect there to be. If anything, it's a pretty good hand-filling knife. You can see how thick it is. Thick aluminum handles, full steel liners. Feels good in the hand. It fills the hand. If you're wearing gloves, you'll have no problem using this knife. If they could have, of course, improved anything, adding some grip texture somewhere on here would have been very useful if you're, using this with wet hands or something. But that's really nitpicking. I think, again, like I was saying, my hypothetical situation, you're on the job site, you forgot your everyday carry knife, your better knife, you go swing by Home Depot, pick this up, it'll last you the day, you'll take it home with you and be like, hey, that's not so bad. Again, it's going to go in your junk drawer at the end of the day, but that's not always such a bad thing. I think it's a totally usable knife, and it's always fun to go buy more knives, so why not go do that? So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I just kind of wanted to give you my first thoughts and impressions on a knife that's probably been out for a long time, but it is most certainly new to me, the Ryobi multifunction folding knife. Again, hope you all have a knife day, and drop a comment below. See you later. Bye-bye.